You won't be in another lecture like this. It'll be one you remember in all your years. I think I was always a very driven kind of individual, really from a very early age. Probably had a bit of a chip on my shoulder from being a kind of small kind of guy. I played in school basketball teams when I was very early, and really tried to always make a mark and be the best that I could be. In sport, also in music, I played the oboe and I played the saxophone, so I've always played in lots of orchestras and bands throughout my life. So I've always been a very driven, noisy and vociferous individual. For me, for finding a career really probably came from when I took a year off between school and university. I went to live in the States for a year and I worked as a paralegal or a legal assistant in New York, or believe it or not, on number 1 Wall Street. My experiences in New York had definitely always made a difference on me, so I just thought, I would like to make money. I'd like to go into the city. It's an exciting place, wearing a suit and doing deals. And so I landed a job in a merchant bank as a trainee in trading and sales. And I did that for a couple of years and absolutely hated it. But what it did do was it really helped me think about the things that I wanted to do. And it made me realize that all of my hobbies and interests, which I never got paid for, were what were my passions. People go, what is it I want from life? But believe you me, when you do a job you hate, that really helps. But the important thing here is the upside is you can get to do and pursue your passions and you are in charge of it. I did an awful lot of youth work and youth holiday camps and youth drama. I did a lot of orchestras and a lot of stage. I was president of a 90-piece wind and jazz band. So I knew that stage, theatre, organising, inspiring audiences, all of these sorts of things, which I never got paid for, I loved doing. And here I was in the bank earning loads of money and just couldn't wait not to go. So eventually I then handed in my notice at the bank. I didn't have a job to go to. So I do remember holding my head in my hand thinking, Jesus Christ, I've just given up an amazing job to start my own business. We have no money and we have absolutely no clients. But I went and spoke to lots and lots of people and eventually met somebody who headed up one of the large conference and events agencies. And so I remember walking out of that meeting thinking, wow, that is what I want to do. I was waiting for the idea, and then one day the penny dropped and I thought, actually I don't need a great idea. I just need to do what I love better than anyone else. Eventually I just thought, what am I going to do? Am I going to just run other agencies or other departments? And that means really my career is a glass ceiling really, because actually that's just running more departments for other people. And to me the next logical step seemed to be to maybe have a go myself and set up my own business. And then I met a colleague of mine who talked to me about whether I'd thought about setting up my own business. I said, yeah, his timing was perfect, and we decided to actually form a partnership and set up Aspect, which is the audience inspiration business that I have now and has run for the last 21 years. We didn't take any backers, and we essentially financed the business from the client work that we found and built it up from there. The only investment we had was Ben's garage, which was quite nice because it had a little loft. But we started with nothing. We put in 10 grand of our own money and no finance whatsoever. Be very careful, believe in yourself. Don't really go for finance until you really convince you need it. You as a person continually learn. I think the most important thing is you learn from the mistakes you make. I think in a way you could say the faster you make mistakes, the better. I think there is no doubt that while Ben and I, who are the owners of the business, ran it on a day-to-day basis, which we don't anymore, but when we did, our personality was very much at the heart of the business. The pace, the passion, the rush, the urgency, the energy, all of that's critical for inspiring your employees and your team and your clients who could really feel that they've got an energized agency here. It's something people often say, it's your baby. That always used to really annoy me because I think, no, it's not a baby, it's a business. But actually, it is your baby. So actually allowing it to grow up, develop a personality of its own, letting it free to run in its own direction under others' guidance. It's a very difficult thing. That was probably the most difficult part of the challenge. Running a small business is a roller coaster. 3 years ago, we probably had our best year ever, but it was probably closely followed by maybe one of the worst years ever. It's so big that actually daring to take the risk to be an entrepreneur is worth a try, and it's a long journey. It's a tough journey. It's a scary journey, but it's just so worth the effort.